everybody. It's 3 p.m. and it is time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And Nanny Bubby needs to change her apron so that you can read the logo. Again, just something new that Facebook now has us do after we go live rather than before. So Nanny Bubby, here we are. So happy to have all of you here. It is a cold day. I am drinking hot cup of steaming ginger with a little bit of stevia in it. I love this cup. It's actually my granddaughter's. I got it for her. It says, "Today will be magical, and it's a fabulous little unicorn. And on the back it says, "Believe in yourself," which really is a great message for all of us. So it's freezing and cold. I mean, not like it is in New Jersey, if that's where you happen to be joining us from. But it is really cold for Las Vegas. Unexpected rain this morning, and I did not have the opportunity to actually cover my patio furniture. So I was like, help, help, help. But what I love about this time of year is that, hey, Susie, nice to see you. Thank you, Susie. What I love about this time of year is that I get all inspired by Thanksgiving. Hey, Frank, how are you? So there's a couple of things to know. Judy Woods, hey, and I know you love this great fall day, as do I. But as long as you're here, I want to take a moment just to thank everybody who entered into the drawing for the anniversary. Oh, hey, Heather. Hey, Dad. How are you? Nice to see you guys. Hey, Dad. How are you? You butt dialed me twice this morning, but it's okay. My mom is here as well. Nice to see you too. So here is, and then he says, I know, Heather, he said, "I did not butt dial you, Mark. I didn't butt dial her, but you did." And Marty's here. Oh, okay. Stand by. Martha is here. I just need to show you this. Hold on. I was not expecting her to show up today, but I really, really have to give her a very public thank you. So Marty, hey, Lene. Oh, and Arlene is here. Oh, my goodness. Everybody is coming in so nice and early. I love having you here. We have so much we're doing today. So Marty, I went to high school with her. She came to town. Gosh, I think it was 2 years ago, a year and a half ago in the summer. And she brought me some little gifts from Tennessee, one of which was this little book, which I thought, what am I going to use that for? I'm not big on little books, but I use this book for every party I have had since the day that she gave it to me. Every page is written on in here. I make my first I make the menu in here, then I make the grocery list, then I go out and shop, then I scratch out, as you can see, all the things that I bought and circle what I have left to get because I couldn't find at one store or the other. And after the baby shower, I used my last page. And I was like, oh no, I need to get another one. So I called Marty. She lives in Tennessee now. And she remembered where she got it, so she went to look for it. And she could only find Texas, which has a story behind why she could only find Texas. And this morning arrived she sent me 4 of them, my new book, this time Texas, maybe next time Georgia, who knows, maybe next time Nevada, I have no idea. But needless to say, it's lined. What I love about these books is 2 things. Number one, oh, this has a rubber band. Oh, no, it doesn't. It has this little string, so you always know where to open the page as you start using the pages in the book. And the other thing that I really love about this book, you guys, it's a 5x7, which I love. It's the perfect size. It fits in any of your purses. And what I truly love about it is that I will have a history. If I start dating and naming each party or event that I'm having, I will have an entire history of everything that I have cooked so that as years go by, I mean, my granddaughter will be able to look at this. My daughter will be able to look at it. And you know what? I'll be able to look at it because I'll think, what did I cook this last Hanukkah, or what did I cook for the baby shower, or, what did I do for this, that, or the other? So it's 5x7, and it is made by, there's no name of who it's made by. It's made by Spartina 449. So maybe you can look that up if you guys want to get some. I just want to tell Marty, thank you so very much. I love it. This is like the most exciting thing that has happened in the last couple of weeks. Except for this, it is time to make pie pumpkins. So at another time, we're going to do a challenge, but today, here's what we're going to do. We are going to be turning these little pie pumpkins into actual pie puree. So this is my favorite time of year, and I'm not big on pumpkin pie because the pumpkin always tastes very tinny and aluminum-y to me. And I follow this home chef whom I adore. Her name is Cooking with Shireen, Shereen. Let me cut off the top here. Oh my gosh, I have to be careful because I have been known to totally cut myself. So there you go. There we go. And then we're going to turn it over and set it down. And what she did is she showed me exactly how to do real pumpkin puree. This will keep in your refrigerator for 2 weeks. If you take these pumpkins, which Costco has a barrel full of they sell them by twos of the pie pumpkins. And they really are slicing very easily. Look at that. And you can keep them in your refrigerator until you get closer to Thanksgiving and you will be fine. So I always say, it smells like pumpkin. If you wait until it's closer to Thanksgiving to buy your pumpkins for use of butternut squash soup or for making your pies, they will be gone. Pumpkins don't last through Thanksgiving. They only last for Halloween. So if you don't get your pumpkins before November 2nd, you're not going to find them. Okay, so we're going to take these pumpkins, and this is so easy. So I've got 2 of them. I'm scraping out with a spoon. This is a grapefruit spoon, which is my favorite scraper. And you should save your seeds, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to save my seeds because I have so many other pumpkins sitting outside. I am going to be making this for Channel 8 next week. And so I am engaging all of you in my test kitchen today because I am doing this recipe for the first time. I want to test it. I want to experiment. I really want to know how to show everybody how to do this with great, great ease. So here we go. Off we go. It's okay to leave a little bit of that string in. Now this has to bake in the oven at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. And I don't expect all of you to hang in there with me for the full 35 minutes, and maybe you can come back and check. But I'm going to make Brussels sprouts for dinner tonight, and maybe even the sea bass that I'm going to make for dinner tonight while I'm waiting for this to bake. If you want to hang in there with me and watch me make the Brussels sprouts and the fish, while this is in the oven baking, I'd love to have you with me. Hey, Teresa Anderson, Lene, David Loshing is here, Arlene, Susan, Tom Lemley. Hey, Tom, from North Carolina. Very wonderful. Thank you for joining me. So happy to have you. Okay, so we're going to take these. I think there's one seed here. Just so you can see, I'm going to turn this upside down on the parchment lined cookie sheet. There we go. And I'm just going to start cutting the rest of it. So I just want to thank all of you for joining the contest for our 1-year anniversary. I want to congratulate Teresa Anderson, first week winner, Judy Woods, first week winner, and Tanya Murray, our beautiful bride, who is going to be getting married Saturday night. And just for all of you to know, I am going down there Thursday morning, and for our show on Thursday, Tanya and I and her wedding coordinator are going to make a heart-shaped braided challah to do the blessing at her wedding with. So I've never done a heart-shaped challah, but I'm told that the wedding coordinator knows exactly how to walk us through it. So we're going to be doing that for the show on Thursday. And then Friday, I'm going to be picking the next 3rd week's winner. And then let me not forget to mention the 2nd week's winners, which were Frank, Lucy, and Arlene. There you go. So I was afraid I would forget somebody. So I'm so excited to see who else will be joining us. In the gather group, I placed today a little poll because I'm going to have a Thanksgiving class for those who would wish to join. It's a paid class because there's a lot of work I have to do on that. And I know for, I'm not sure what the price point is going to be, but it's, it's not so much, but it's just, enough to get you in. And I'm just curious to know exactly how and what you would want out of me if you were to join that class for menu planning, sides. 2 people already in Gather answered. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to cut 2 more. Yes, Lucky Bride. So on Friday, I might be out hiking. I might be au natural. I'm going to take my hiking boots and my hat. So who knows how I'll look or what I'm going to be doing. But I am stopping at 3 o'clock so that I can pick all the names out of the hat and figure out and find out who our 3rd week winner is. By the way, how lucky is this that on Friday actually is October 22nd, which is the day of my 1-year anniversary live with all of you every day at 3 o'clock, which is just craziness. It's just somebody asked me about it the other day. And he said, how did you know you wanted to do that? And I said, I didn't. Well, how did you know you were going to keep going? I said, I didn't. Somebody challenged me and people started showing up and then people started enjoying it and I started enjoying them. And here we are 1 year later. So I love that about all of you. So stand by. Okay. So I'm going to scrape this. We want to get this show on the road. Maybe I could have done 2 before you got here, but I didn't want to start the process before all of you got here because I really wanted you to see this from start to finish. And the other thing is once this is caramelized and roasted in the oven, we are going to stick it into a food processor and puree it. And it takes seconds. We just need it to cool just slightly because the cooler it is, the less water will get into the food processor. We don't want it to be very watery. In fact, if it is watery, then we will have to strain it through a sieve lined with a cheesecloth, and then you get all the water right out of it. So there you go. Okay, a little bit more. Okay. Put that down. Actually, I should turn them the other way because we are going to take avocado oil and spray these. Okay, one more time. So Marty, if you're there, just give me a wave. And I just want to again express my gratitude to you for getting those fabulous books for me. I absolutely love them. And I was sad when I wrote on the very last page. So thanks for coming to my rescue. Okay. So, and go figure, someone in Tennessee only had Texas books. There's a story there. But anyway, okay, on to our last one, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next, and we'll pop these in the oven. That's how easy it is. I mean, the hardest part of all this is actually getting the seeds out, and that's no big deal. I mean, in 7 minutes, I've just done 4 of them, 4 halves anyway, 2 whole pumpkins. There we go. Okay. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Now, you don't want to use jack-o'-lanterns. You really want to look for these pie pumpkins. These are sweeter. They have a more delicate taste. The jack-o'-lanterns just are a really hard and harsh tasting vegetable flavor. And it wouldn't be good for things like pumpkin scones or things like pumpkin pie or pumpkin cupcakes or I don't know, even pumpkin lattes, if somehow we have a recipe for pumpkin latte with pureed pumpkin, and I'm not sure about that. So, okay. So here we go. There we go. Okay. So, this is so easy. We're going to use avocado oil because it is a neutral oil. We don't want to add any extra flavor to these pumpkins. And I'm going to use spray avocado oil because I just think, why brush it when you can spray it? So just a little spray, spritz. Here we go. We're going to turn them. There we go. That's it. That's all we have to do. We're going to turn them upside down, put them in the oven 400 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. And I'll turn you guys around. You can see that oven, can you? Nope, that's a refrigerator. There we go. And into the oven we go. And I have very much to tell you all about, so stand by. Into the oven. Okay, let's set that timer. Grab the timer and set it. So I'm assuming all of you can hear me okay right now. What I have found is that when I'm not sizzling on my sister's hot plate, her induction hot plate, that you actually can hear me much better. So setting this timer for about 30 minutes, then we'll go check it. My oven runs really hot or really cool. I really have to get a thermometer for the oven so I always see where I'm at. So a couple things that I want to tell you. Number one, I want to read the rules one more time for those of you who would like to enter. We've got a brand new week coming. So here is enter to win admission to Nanny Bubby's first anniversary winner's special Zoom cooking class for you and a friend. So everybody, the 6 of you that have won, can come and you can bring a friend. To enter, post your favorite Nanny Bubby recipe, tip, or guest interview and why it's your favorite and or what you learned from it. Each explanation of why you chose this episode or tip must be a minimum of 15 words, okay? Earn 1 entry for each original post. Earn 2 entries if you include a photo or photos with your entries. Photos should be of a Nanny Bubby recipe you've made, a Nanny Bubby tip you've used, or something you've made based on a guest interview, which I would love as we get closer to the Christmas holidays and Hanukkah holidays to make that lavender biscotti with all of you. I think that's, hey, Romy, nice to see you, my darling. 3 winners will be chosen on Friday, October 8th. We've done that. We named who they were. They were Judy Woods, Tanya Murray, and Teresa Anderson. And since Tanya Murray is going on her honeymoon on Sunday, we need to wait for her to get back so that we can schedule the date. And I'll probably, I don't want to ask her that question while we're preparing for the wedding. Like, I'll wait till she gets back, unless it comes up. And then we picked 3 winners on October 15th, which was Frank, which was Arlene, and which was Lucy in Sulaco. So that was great. And then who knows who will be picked on October 22nd. So if you want to join, you need to absolutely post your favorite whatevers because I really want everybody there. And so you can win more than once and invite more friends to join you. And guests must not be current Gather members. But maybe they could be because maybe we need to pull in a few of our Gather members that are trying so hard to win and didn't, but we'll talk about that later. I get to make exceptions if I want, right? Okay, so here we go. The next thing I want to tell you is that I met the most amazing woman. Her name was Brittany Bivens. She lives in Maui, Hawaii, and she has created a deck of cards. And this happened to be the first card that was showing when I got on the Zoom call with her, which is her pumpkin card. And so what she said is that these cards, when you pull them, they tell you a little bit about what it does for your health. So as an example, pumpkin naturally protects the liver. It supports healthy blood pressure. It's high in fiber, which we all know is good and healthy. It boosts your immune system, and why wouldn't it? It's full of color, and anything full of color is always good for your health and your body. There's anti-aging properties. Oh my God, let me eat 5 a day. And it promotes healthy cholesterol and helps manage blood sugar. I also know that if dogs have some health issues, that raw pumpkin is actually, raw cooked pumpkin is actually really, really good for your animals if they display some health behavioral issues. So that is what we're making today. She is coming as my guest on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about how she came to develop these inspirational cards all about vegetables. we're going to be talking, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a recipe with shallots and also with the red peppers right here, or bell peppers. And these are just 3 of the cards. She took pictures and texted it to me today. And we're going to be talking about these. And she is going to be giving away, she has 53 cards in the deck plus an instruction card. And she is going to be giving away 2 decks of these fabulous cards on the show on Wednesday. So you must come. You have to type something so we know you're there, and you will get a chance to win one of the decks of cards, which is great. So shallots is an example. Improves your heart health, helps reduce stress. Got to eat a lot of those. Improves circulation. Good for that. Anti-allergic effects. My husband needs that. He sneezes all day long. Lowers your cholesterol. Rich in antioxidants and antibacterial properties. So that's really interesting. I'd like to drill down more on what those antibacterial properties are. And bell peppers boosts your immunity, promotes digestive health. Sometimes I don't feel so because sometimes peppers repeat on you, so we'll talk to her about that. They're heart healthy. Good. Great for eye health. Well, yes, because they have a lot of color, right? Anything with a lot of color, like carrots, is very good for the eyes. Promotes beautiful skin. We can all use that. Natural sleep aid. I definitely need that. I was up at 1:30 this morning and never went back to sleep. I'm dying here right now, actually. And enhances mood, which my mood is going to get really grumpy around 4 o'clock when I really hit the wall from tiredness from being up since 1:30. So anyway, we will drill down on this on Wednesday. Her name is Brittany Bevins. You'll start seeing promotion for it. She's going to be live with us from Hawaii, from Maui, Hawaii. And we're going to have a really great interview. So with that, let's see how many minutes we still have 25 minutes to go. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the most fabulous Brussels sprouts for this time of year. They are great. And what I love sometimes about Brussels sprouts this time of year, if you can find them, is they send to Whole Foods Brussels sprouts on a long stem. And if you cook them correctly, you can literally put that stem of Brussels sprouts right in the middle of the table, and everybody can just peel off a Brussels sprout right from the stalk, right from the middle of the table. And, it's just really incredible. And so I'll keep my eye out for when those arrive. So I found these fabulous Earth Planet organic Brussels sprouts at Costco. None of them in Costco this weekend. Let me get this and cut this off. So there we go. Opening it up. And we are going to wash these, right? So we're washing them with food grade hydrogen peroxide. And may I add that the pumpkins, sorry, I know you can't hear me when I crinkle stuff because of the AirPods. When I got the pumpkins and started to set them out, I sprayed them with the food grade hydrogen peroxide. I let them sit for about 60 seconds, 45 seconds, and then I washed them in cold water and dried them off. And I did. And even though we're going to peel the skins off, the fact is that you have no idea who touched them before I got them. And now I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I realize I have my AirPods on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, Judy Wood said, sounds very interesting. I should be eating pumpkin every day from description. We all should be, and that's why we're showing how to make this recipe. So, okay, turn on the cold water. Let me turn you around so we can share this moment with each other. And there we go. So if you get a minute, go into the Gather group and answer the questionnaire. For those of you who might have any interest at all in helping me serve you better, no pun intended, in terms of what you'd like to see us do, if we should put together a Zoom, thank you, if we should put together a Zoom cooking class for Thanksgiving. It's going to be very specific to Thanksgiving. And the question was, what is it that you dread the most? Is it actually coming up with a menu plan? Is it setting the table? Is it coming up with sides along with your turkey? Is it, and it's very individual, you know. I have a girlfriend who's Hungarian, and they always had Hungarian foods on their table straight from the old country. Her grandparents would always make, they wouldn't have those Hungarian dishes all year long, but during Thanksgiving, they always brought that to the table. I know we always used to have a lot of Eastern European Jewish food at our Thanksgiving table when my grandparents were always alive. Well, not always alive, that was a strange word, but always cooked and brought things to the table, and really, you know, always having many generations in the table, in the kitchen to help out is always such a joy. So, okay, so we have taken these, give it a good shake, and we're going, can you see this? We're going to take these, and we are literally, well, let's see. I'm going to show you two ways of cutting these. We are going to either slice them in half, in which case we can throw them onto the sheet pan and just roast them, which I think is the best. But in the event that you want to first steam the whole Brussels sprout, the way that you would do that is cutting into it crosswise like that, which gives the stem of this an opening and gives it the steam to get in there and to tenderize the entire Brussels sprout. But I actually, and my family actually likes them roasted. So that is what I am going to do. So we're going to slice off the stem here, slice these in half. I'm going to pull over the sheet pan, and I will just literally start popping them onto the sheet pan as I cut them. Now, the interesting thing about this is I'm going to roast these Brussels sprouts, and when I'm done and they're nice and crispy, I am going to make a sauce out of mustard seed, butter, and Dijon mustard. That's it. And then I am going to toss the Brussels sprouts in that. Sometimes a little bit of just a touch of Parmesan cheese just to give it that nutty flavor. We can put pistachios in with this. We can put, what else? Cranberries in with it. Tell me, let's see, have you had Brussels sprouts from Broadway in Laguna? Yes, I have. It's amazing, right? Absolutely delicious. I love their Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh. I love everything there. Absolutely do. Yes, I have. It's amazing. Also, believe it or not, some of the best Brussels sprouts I ever had in my life, if you can believe it, was on Catalina Island, in a restaurant in Catalina Island. Which, you know, for the most part, Catalina Island is like going to Tijuana. And I'm not sure why that is, and why Catalina Island hasn't been developed, and why there isn't a Four Seasons over there, Ritz-Carlton. I think it is just one beautiful, beautiful island, but it's very rustic, very old. It hasn't caught on yet, so I don't know why. So I do not see one comment from any of you about what you love the most, what you look forward to the most for Thanksgiving. So let's start there. Got a bunch of you on today. We're waiting to get that pumpkin out of the oven. In fact, I'm going to just test it really quick, so give me a minute. It's been in there for about 15 minutes, so I know you can hear me. And I will turn the camera around when I'm sure that they're ready, or when they're getting close to ready. So yeah, these are nowhere near ready. Nowhere near ready. So we've got a ways to go. But I'm going to hang in here and just keep making my dinner until those are ready. And, you know, for those of you who don't want to hang in, you can always check back later and just fast forward the Facebook show and just view the end, how we puree it in the food processor, which is great. I wanted to tell you that my husband and I are very fortunate. that we were asked to be honored and achieve the Lifetime Achievement Award in broadcasting. We both started in broadcasting in the 70s here in Las Vegas. We met at Channel 8, the station that I'm back on right now. My husband especially has played a very big role in broadcasting and support. That's where we know Roseanne from, Judy Woods. Well, Judy actually is in real estate, but I know that she kind of hung out with the broadcasters there for a bit. And we are very humbled that we were asked to be honored. And so that ask occurred over a year ago. But of course, the shutdown, it was supposed to be in 2020, and the shutdown caused it to be canceled. And it is, I haven't really thought about it. I wasn't really excited about it, and I had so much going on in October that I really believed that I couldn't stop long enough to think about it. But it is actually 2 weeks away. It's actually 10 days away now. So it is Saturday night, October 22nd. I know, that's Tanya's wedding. It's Saturday night, October 23rd is Tanya's wedding, and Saturday night, October 30th is the broadcaster event. So we are just really honored, really thrilled to have been asked. We are certainly very honored to lend our names to raising money for scholarship for those kids who are going to be our future broadcasters and help to bring us the news. So very, very excited about that. Okay, Judy, thank you. I am a Thanksgiving fanatic. So am I. It is my favorite holiday. It is no other holiday where there's no expectations, no presents needed, nothing, just good food, good wine. It's not too cold, but it's great to have warmth. And yes, it is. Thank you, Arlene. It is wonderful. It is absolutely my favorite as well. Thank you, Susie. So what is your favorite part? You guys need to write that. You're probably driving or busy, but what is your favorite part about Thanksgiving? Is it anybody have a killer Thanksgiving recipe or a Thanksgiving side that you want to share or tell us about? We're just killing time trying to get those pumpkins done. So go ahead. Anybody? Hey, Frank, thank you. So we're just cutting off the stems and cutting these in half. I'm going to take a moment, drink my ginger. Susie says to be with family. That's always the best. My family coming together and enjoying the meal together. I know that is really, really always the best. My aunt and uncle used to come in from California. I remember that as a child, everybody would make, I'm just not sure why, but my uncle would make apple strudel, and they would be in the kitchen for days. And I remember I must have been 3 or 4 years old. I remember being in the kitchen and watching everybody make apple strudel and, believe it or not, chopped liver. I really love my uncles. I just remember the apple strudel more than anything. There's a bunch of other things they used to make, much of which if I even said the word, you wouldn't remember. So, not remember, you wouldn't even know what it is. Honestly, I don't even know what it is. But one of the words is kishki. So, I don't know. Anybody know what's really in that? I think it is cornmeal stuffed in somebody's intestines. It's got to be a beef intestine. I don't know. I really don't know, but I really loved it. I really, really loved it. I did. And I loved, I never ate Brussels sprouts all year long, but this recipe I have with the mustard seed and the Dijon mustard and the butter is just, I fell in love with it, and I used to only make it on Thanksgiving, but now Brussels sprouts have become my universal, fall vegetable, green vegetable, which I love. Again, you can put cranberries in this, you can chop up pistachios, you can put sweet tart cherries in this. and just toss it with it after it's made. Let's see. Judy Wood says, I make my grandma's sweetheart salad, which we make every year from over 70 years when we were children. Okay, so tell us, what is a sweetheart salad? I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. What is a sweetheart salad? Marty says, prepping my family's favorite traditional dishes and the kids and grandkids coming home. One more grandkid arriving October 25th. Oh, congratulations, Marty. There we go. That is amazing. Oh, that's so amazing. One more. Oh, my gosh. I know. Marty said, she probably doesn't even remember, but I used to live 2 doors down from her mother once Marty moved out of Las Vegas and got married and moved away. And Marty came to visit her mom, and I saw her, and we stopped and we chatted. And I have my hands full with 2 kids. And my kids are wonderful kids, but they were very close in age. And it was really a lot of work. I mean, it was just tough for me. I'd been a career woman all of my life, and suddenly I was staying at home and with my kids, and it was hard to transition out of a newsroom, out of, what I knew every day, out of a place that I had trained my whole life to be, and suddenly I had kids and left. And so I saw Marty. And Marty, forgive me, because I can't remember if you had 4 or if you had 5. And I don't remember, so you'll just type either 4 or 5. But I said, oh my gosh, Marty, I don't know how you do it. I mean, really. And Marty's answer was something I will never forget. Marty said to me, Marla, it certainly would have been easier if I'd only had 2 or 3. But I had 5. And my question is, which 2 or 3 would I have settled for? And when you really think about that, would have been easier if I'd only had 2. But which 2? Once they're there, once they become the love of your lives just because they've come into your world, there's no choosing. A mother's love is for all. So I just will never forget that. It really grounded me. And Marty, I don't know if I've ever reminded you of that story, and you may not even remember saying it, but Marty has 5. So there you go. There you go. So amazing. Do you remember that story? Do you remember actually telling me that story? I thought it was just so profound, and it really grounded me, and I tell that to many people too. I repeat that story to those who, listen, parenthood can be a struggle. There's no doubt about it. So everybody just needs a whisper of inspiration just to keep on putting one foot in front of the other when you're right in the middle of it, right, guys? Okay, Judy Wood says it's a sweeter salad. I will post it on Gather with a photo. Cream cheese, crushed pineapple, whipped cream, and then what? And then salad, romaine, spinach. Oh my gosh, what do you put in there as a salad, or is it more of a fruit salad that you're making, Judy? Tell me. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to be popping this into the oven with the pumpkin, I guess. And then I'm going to make the fish, because we are going to keep going until we get to finishing that pumpkin. So there's one other thing I want to tell you. You know that I believe there's a time to feast and a time to fast. And you really need to know when that is. So Thanksgiving is definitely a feast time, right? Definitely a time to feast on your favorite foods, to enjoy, to celebrate, to eat without guilt. It is a beautiful and wonderful time. But the rest of the time, you look ahead at your calendar, and when you see these big things coming up, we believe in fasting. Now, by fasting, I don't really mean fasting. I don't really mean, sometimes we go on a juice fast. We do. Sometimes we've had a big weekend, or we know we're going into a big weekend, and we want to just make sure that we're cleaned up and ready to. Sometimes your taste buds get very dull, and when you fast, or when you do like a juice fast, your taste buds are entertained by everything that you put into your mouth after the juice fast. And I like that because if it's something like Thanksgiving or a big birthday celebration or something of that nature, it always feels great to know that you're really, truly savoring and tasting every flavor that goes into your mouth. So, but also, when you're being honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2 weeks, you just think if you just take off those 2 pounds, you're going to feel better when you walk into the night. And Tom has 3, and I have about 1.5 pounds. But nonetheless, I feel better. I feel more energetic. I feel like I could dance into a room of 500 people if I were just 1.5 pounds thinner. So we are eating very clean and very lean for the next 2 weeks. And that's exactly what this dinner is. But don't cry for me, Argentina, because this is still going to be a fabulous, beautiful meal. And I'm going to start with putting oregano olive oil all over these Brussels sprouts. So hold on just a minute. Where is it? There we go. So here's the fresh oregano olive oil. I'm just going to put this all over these Brussels sprouts. The really great thing is that these Brussels sprouts start to get brown and crispy. They start to caramelize. Got to keep an eye on them because they are in a very, very hot oven. 400 degrees they're going in. And we will check on those pumpkins. I'm also going to take Chef Vincenzo's. These are his Italian herbs. And since I'm doing the oregano oil, I am going to just sprinkle on here these wonderful Italian herbs. Really give it, oh, you could just smell the dried herbs is just heavenly. And then we're going to grab some salt and pepper. Put this here. And we're just, again, raise your hand high. Always go from the top as high up as you can, and gives you more control. It's very counterintuitive. I say it all the time, but you really want to do that. Okay, a little more pepper, give it some heat. You might even want to put a little bit of crushed red pepper on this, but I think the Dijon mustard really adds a spice, and the regular table pepper, you don't need much else. So there we go. Let's just combine all of this. It's just beautiful. Hey, Russell. My boys went out for haircuts, and they just got back. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to turn this camera around, and you guys can look inside as I put these in the oven. Hair looks good. Okay. I don't know if you wanted me to say that or not. Pretty soon Tom will be down. Okay, ready? Let's turn you around. Okay, let's go. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's the pumpkins. And put those Brussels sprouts in. Hold on just a minute. Let me get this and this. Not sure. Hey, Don, or not Don, but I know that you're his wife who's watching every day. Okay, hold on just a minute. So, can you see this okay? Right into the oven. So we're going to pull this out. Here we go. And we're going to, now you will know these are done when this knife is able to go all the way in. And you know what? I am just going to give these just a few more minutes. Just because, and I'm going to turn this because I really want to see caramelization on these pumpkins. I really do. I think that it's It's definitely the right thing to do. Okay, because when that caramelization actually hits and you're able to puree that, it just looks amazing. Now, just so you know, the real pureed pumpkin is really just sort of a bright sunset yellow. It is not dark, oxidized pumpkin like when you open that can of Libby's pumpkin. It is just light and beautiful and just fantastic. So you saw how easy it was to actually make it. And we're just going to take it over to the food processor and whir it up. If it's too watery, then we can always just put it through a strainer with a cheesecloth in it and just wring out the water, and it'll be the perfect texture. So while we're waiting, we have, it's going to ring in just a minute. It's interesting. I always say school's out. Well, there you go. Okay. So I am going to turn this for another 7 minutes just because I want to see it get caramelized. And we are going to take this baking dish. And so the reason I was telling you about feast and or fast is I'm just making a sea bass tonight. I am simply going to put a little bit of salt and pepper and sweet smoked paprika on it, and I'm going to throw it in at 400 degrees and let it bake and be done with it. It will have great flavor because sea bass always does. I'm going to just spray the baking dish because it's easy. I've got this right here. I can just brush it. That way we won't have the sea bass sticking, which is great. Okay, let me pull that sea bass right out of the refrigerator. Now I got this sea bass at Costco. We made a Costco run, which we used to do every weekend or every other weekend. And once the shutdown came, we haven't been going as much, but they had this previously frozen shrink wrapped sea bass. It's really fantastic. Jumping on late today, hi from Gilbert, Arizona. We are here for a few weeks. Well, I'm going to be in Sedona over the weekend for Tanya's wedding. But always good to have you here. Always. Okay. So I really am totally just going to take this. I'm going to grab some paper towels. And I'm going to grab the sweet smoked paprika. Here it is. And I've already got the salt and pepper here. And as we take this, here we go. This is awesome. So I've noticed that they're putting into these containers this new sort of absorption. Let me see if I can show this to you. It's kind of stuck to the bottom here. But it absorbs all of the moisture. And so things like chicken, things like fish are not coming out of these packages so drenched in their own juices. And I love it. I discovered it in my chicken over the weekend. I'm like, wow, I have not seen this before. And I'm really liking it. So let me get this over here. Don't know how many of you have seen this. So tell us, Ms. Winderman, what are you making for Thanksgiving since you joined us? Well, I spoke too soon because this one is sopping in its own juice, but there just must have been a lot of it. So what is your favorite dish that you're making for Thanksgiving? So Judy is going to post hers, which is called a sweet salad, in Gather. And I also want to remind you all, since you're just joining us or popping on late, that join the contest in Gather and post your favorite Nanny Bubby episode, tip, or interview, and post a picture if you'd like, and tell us why you liked it. You get 1 entry for just a regular post and 2 entries for pictures that you might have taken of the food that you made. Okay, so there's that. And what to do next? Let's start with the salt, the pepper, and then the sweet paprika. Go salt. And I'm running out of my fresh ground pepper, but let's see if I can make it list half this, and I'll grab the Kirkland grinder and do the rest if I need to. There we go. And before I turn it over, I'm gonna reach in and with the smoked paprika, give it some beautiful color and a beautiful smoky taste. And speaking of smoky taste, you know what I'm gonna go do? Just thought of it. I'm going to grab the hickory smoked olive oil, and I'm going to brush that on the other side now as I turn them over. Here we go. Okay. Let's turn these over. With baking, of course, you don't need to turn over, so that's why I season on one side and then turn them over. So starting with the salt, starting with the hickory smoked olive oil. Stand by. Keep looking for it. Let's see. Jalapeno oil, roasted garlic, fresh basil, fresh lime. Hickory smoked. There she is. Okay. All right. The hickory smoked right here. Oh, look at that. So good. You guys see that? So beautiful. Let's see. Here's the baster. Oh, smells so good. And the really great thing is whatever is left over from tonight, we can put on salads for tomorrow. We can mix into not a sandwich because, of course, as I said, we are really eating clean and washing everything so that we get those last few little pounds off so that I fit perfectly into my dress, which I'm very excited about that dress too. Okay. Because when we're not talking about cooking, I'm definitely always talking about hair, makeup, and clothes. Don't ask. But the truth is that somewhere along the line, my dear friends loaded me up on beautiful things that they wanted me to wear that was theirs. So I have a girlfriend in New York who sent me this dress and kept saying, there's no way I can wear that dress. It's too short. It's going to show too much skin. There was 100 things wrong with why I thought I wasn't going to wear it. And don't you know that I put it on and fell in love with it. And believe it or not, this is the most horrifying thing ever, is that the dress was too big on top. Fit perfect on the bottom, but it was too big on top. And she said, alter it. I said, I'm not going to alter this dress. She said, I want you to alter it. And so I have. I altered her dress, which she's never going to be able to wear again, but she wanted to give it to me. And then I don't have a gold purse, so I've been looking. And my dear friend Shelley Berkeley, former Congressman Shelley Berkeley, has a purse for every day of the week. And not only that, she has cocktail bags for every day of the week. So I called her this morning and said, do you have a gold purse, a cocktail purse that I can wear with this dress that I'm wearing to the gala? And she said, absolutely, I've got one. So I'm going over there later to get the purse. And I'll post pictures in 10 days. So let's see. I make the traditional turkey, but I also make scratch-made ravioli and sauce. My dad has passed away many years ago, but I have always kept that tradition alive, and you have his handwritten recipe. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, let's turn you around and let's go see. There we go. Let's go see how this pumpkin is doing. So let's grab the knife here. Oh, I can't put this in until I get the pumpkin out, right? You guys see that? There we go. There you go. Okay. So, there we go. This is just caramelizing nicely. The juices are coming out. Can you guys see that? Just absolutely phenomenal. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. It's caramelized on the inside. Set these down. We will take the fish and we will put the fish into this oven with the Brussels sprouts. There we go. And I will be calling my boys down for dinner in just a few minutes. So, okay, let's take a look at this. There we go. So, this is the scary part. Let me pull you just a little bit closer. Is I know how to peel these skins back, but I do believe that we need to actually take a few minutes and let these cool down, right? Because here you can see that the knife goes right through. There's steam coming out of them. And I need to be able to grab them and pull this skin back, which it's too hot to do. So we actually need to wait a couple of minutes, and I'm going to backtrack for just a bit. And I'm going to talk to you about the contest. I'm going to tell you about Brittany Bevins again, in case you guys missed it. Those of you that are just signing on, Brittany Bevins developed these cards, which are vegetable cards. She's going to do fruit cards as well. And it's a deck of 53 cards. You may reach in and like, what should I cook tonight? Reach in and grab 3 cards and then say, okay, I'm going to go to the grocery store. This is what it's like reading the Bible. You always tend to open to the page that you needed to read that day. And like tarot cards, you pick 3 cards, and those are the cards that best fit your energy level. It's the same with pulling your vegetable cards here. So bell peppers, she's got 53 cards with all kinds of things, but tomorrow I'm cooking with bell peppers, and she is coming for an interview with me direct from Maui, Hawaii, and she's going to do a cooking demonstration for us with all of these different vegetables. So boosts immunity, promotes digestive health, heart health, great for eye health. So just some of the things that we say on for bell peppers. Then we have shallots over here. Improves heart health. Let me get that in there for you to see. Improves heart health, helps reduce stress, improves circulation, anti-allergic effects, lowers cholesterol. What does that say? Rich in antioxidants and antibacterial properties, which is very interesting. I want to talk about the antibacterial. And then last but not least is pumpkin, which happened to be the first card on the deck today when I was doing a little pre-interview meeting her for the first time. I was amazed that of all cards that were on the very top when she went to go show it to me was pumpkin. I said, oh my gosh, I'm literally making pumpkin today. And we thought that was just kind of kismet, that I'd be making pumpkin today. And that was the first card in the deck that she said that I'd be making. So listen, pumpkin is great for your liver. It supports healthy blood pressure. It's high in fiber. It boosts your immune system. There's anti-aging properties, promotes healthy cholesterol, and helps manage blood sugars. So this is so great because what we're doing is this is not from a can. This is literally coming right out of the oven. We're going to puree it. And we are going to literally make the best pumpkin you've ever had. And it's only going to be a few minutes before I throw it in the blender. We're not going to add, or the food processor, we're not going to add salt. We're not going to add preservatives. It's not going to taste like aluminum because it's been sitting in the lined aluminum can. It is literally going to taste the way pumpkin should taste when you make your pies or your scones or whatever else pumpkin that you're going to make for the holidays. I'm going to add one more time. Pumpkins here in Las Vegas are only on the shelves in the grocery stores through Halloween. They don't know that most of us would love to cook pumpkins for Thanksgiving. So here's my Nanny Bubby tidbit. Buy your pumpkins, especially your pie pumpkins now. Costco has them. And what you want to do is you can either put them in your refrigerator or put them outside on the north side of your house where they won't see any sun. But I prefer to put mine in the refrigerator. They will keep in your refrigerator for about 2 weeks, so you can make them around the middle of November. And or you can actually freeze the puree and in a I can't think of the name of the glass glass jar. Why can't I think of that name? And you will have pureed pumpkin for your pies, etc. So this is still a little hot. I'm just wondering, let's see, this is kind of coming up. There must be a trick to this. This is why I am testing. Okay. So let's see, I'm going to figure this out. There we go. It's so hot. So if this were cool, this would not be sticking. And look at that. It does. It peels right off. Isn't that sensational? So you just have to get it a little bit started. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous. Off it comes. There we go. So I just got it a little bit started and away it came. And I started from the stem where the stem was initially. So here we go. So now that the skin is off, it will literally cool much more readily. I don't burn my fingers. I won't, but I burned my arm like really big on Channel 8 on last Thursday. It's crazy. Okay, here we go. Just take that little piece off. Grab the skin here. I'm probably going to have to loosen this for Channel 8 next week, right? Want to make sure that the skin is cooled and it's very easy to come off. So there we go. Whoa, hot. Can you guys see okay? Oh. There we go. This one very nicely peels right off. Look at that. There we go. Can you see the steam coming right off of it? So great. And you know what I'm going to do, just because we're all together and I know you guys don't want to hang in much longer, but I'm going to just cut this into some diced cubes, large diced cubes, so that it'll cool faster that way and we can get it into the food processor for all of you to see and for me to taste, because I am seriously going to do a taste test between canned pumpkin with salt and, potassium and preservatives and aluminum in it, and how that stacks up to our pumpkin. Okay, there we go. All right, there's two. So should we turn this around so that the sheet pan is not hot anymore? So here we go. Let's see how this goes. Thank you, everybody, for worrying about my hands. Let's see if I can get it from this side. Not coming from, all right. Turning it around. There we go. So if this were cool, it would pull off like a dream. And really look how easy that is. I'm just rushing it. Okay. Want me to say that again? Oh, golly. Okay. I'm just trying to kill time, right? So I can get through this for all of you. Okay. There we go. Now, again, if this is too watery, and you would have no way of knowing whether your pies are watery or whether they're not, you're just going to put it through a sieve with a little bit of cheesecloth and just drain the water out of it, and you will have perfect pumpkin consistency. Okay, going over. Let's go over to the last pumpkin. Let me just cut these into some. Go. Oh my gosh, they're just beautiful. They smell heavenly, honestly. Go. give it a chance to cool faster before we put them in. There we go. And just look at this caramelization, honestly. This is really what you want. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that, oh my gosh, look at the steam coming off of it. Isn't that beautiful? And that caramelization is literally going to get into every bite. Look at that. Isn't that sensational? Doesn't that look so good? Looks good enough to eat. Okay. Gotta go. Okay, Arlene, have a good night. Just check back. You can fast forward and you'll be able to see the finished product if you'd like. Okay. So, and that's the same for all of you if you don't feel like hanging in. I'm certain my dad has left. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here we go. This one is a little tougher. It's interesting. I'm wondering if it's not cooked. Oh, it's cooked. The skin is just a little bit tougher. So I'm going to have to think this through about how I'm going to demonstrate this on Channel 8 in just 5 minutes, right? There we go. So from here into the food processor, and we're done. And we're taste testing. Who's up for the taste test, right? Don't y'all want to come over and taste test with me, right? Okay, let's see the caramelization on this. Yeah, this is great. So I think it could have caramelized just a little bit longer on some of these. But so I think really that in my oven it needed to be about 45 minutes. Perfection, almost. Okay. I absolutely need a thermometer for my oven because my oven has really, because I'm redoing my kitchen, which I keep talking about, but we just finished, the first third of the house. And we're moving on to the master bedroom first, but my ovens really do need to be replaced, but I'm trying. And only, believe it or not, one of them works. Is that ridiculous? Can you imagine Nanny Bubby only has one working oven? The other one heats, but just not high. And it's just crazy. I know. But I need a thermometer because at least I need to know where I'm at, right, in these ovens, which are not calibrated. Okay, there we go. So I'm just wondering if we take, I just love the look of this. Just love it. Okay, so we're going to let this cool a minute. I'm going to do the Wolfgang tuck, clean up after myself for just a brief minute and move this food processor into your view. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it, right? So let's see. I don't want to do too much. I'm going to read, or maybe I'm going to fan. How if I fan this just a little bit? I'm going to fan it just a little bit. Cool it down. There we go. So we can get it into, there we go. Okay, it's cooling down. Not bad. Fanny, everything is good for cooling, right? Okay. There we go. Okay, let me pull over. I smell the Brussels sprouts. So we're going to have to get back to that in just a moment. Let's pull over the food processor. There we go. Take off the top. Turn you guys around. There we go. Okay. Are you ready? Into the food processor. In fact, the great part about using parchment is that you can just pick up the parchment, maybe, and put in the food processor. These were 2 3-pound pie pumpkins. Again, we don't want to use the jack-o'-lantern. We want to use pie pumpkin. Here is just a taste. Mm. It is so delicious. I mean, this is real pumpkin. So good. Okay, top goes on. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. Are you guys ready? Okay. And this, ladies and gentlemen, let's pause it. I think we need to just spin it around for just a minute, making sure it all gets down. Okay, one more time. Got to do a taste test. We're making pureed pumpkin. Your hair looks cute too. Do you want to show everybody? You want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, maybe not.
I'm not used to competing with a blender.
But you compete with me, right?
I compete with Marla all the time.
Who talks more than me?
But nobody talks more than you.
Except you in the morning.
Yes, we do talk in the morning.
Yeah, you talk a lot in the morning.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you talk about?
I talk about how much weight I want to lose. I always talk about that, right?
You do. What else?
Well, I talk about the great dinner that Nanny Bubby's going to
Oh, you do?
Well, sure.
Okay, yes. Actually, at 4:10 in the morning when we leave for the gym, he always says, "What are you making for dinner tonight?" So Judy Wood says hi.
Hi,
Susie
Judy.
says hi.
How about those Red Sox, Judy?
Oh, she's a Red Sox fan.
Oh, yeah. Her husband, John, was one of the biggest fans. They used to always put his Boston Red Sox hat on for every game.
Oh, my gosh.
Judy would watch, and she'd get excited. So I know she's rooting for the Red Sox tonight.
I bet she. Oh, it's tonight. Okay, look at this.
And I'm done with the Dodgers, by the way.
Oh, you are. That's it. You're done.
I'm not watching anymore. I can't watch.
Oh my God, he was so mad last night.
Oh my God.
He was so mad.
I'm so angry. I'm still upset.
I know.
But a good Nanny Bubby dinner is all that a man could ask for.
Okay, well, grab a spoon. Grab 2 spoons.
How about that one? No?
No. It's got blades on it.
2 spoons.
One for me. Okay, I'm going to taste it here. Okay, ready, guys? Go Red Sox and Dodgers. Okay, ready?
Spread love. No?
Not yet. We're not saying goodbye. We're actually tasting. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I do to my little granddaughter. I go.
And to our grandson, and he just
looks at me like,
okay, here.
Oh, Grandpa.
Oh, here.
Mmm.
That is just, it is,
Wow.
the caramelization is just so incredible.
Yeah. No sugar in there, though,
No
right?
sugar,
Okay, good.
no salt, nothing.
Good. Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Tom, Arlene. Oh, Arlene. So good. All right. Okay. That's it. Does your hair look cute? Does his hair look cute, everybody?
It's a new hairdo.
Yeah, I like it.
It's different.
You'll probably get better at it.
I will. But I just got it cut, and it looks good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. This was worth it. It needs to be pureed just a little bit more. And honestly, it is the perfect texture. It does not need to be strained in a sieve with a cheesecloth. I'm going to put it in a jar, in a mason jar. That's the word I was looking for. And maybe freeze it or just keep it in my refrigerator and use it to make pies and scones. My daughter loves pumpkin scones, so I might make her pumpkin scones. And that's it. So on the count of 3, everybody, 1, 2, 3. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And go out and spread love like butter. Bye, everybody.